Communications Minister Michelle Rowland recently described the situation like this. We're up against these giant companies, multinationals who have more power, money and global influence than some standalone nations. They have deep pockets. They are highly litigious, but that is no reason why they should not be subject to Australian law, and we should seek to enforce Australian law. I couldn't agree more. The words social licence describe the permission companies have to operate within a society. The tech monopolies should also be made to pay a licence. This social licence would be a package of laws and requirements the tech monopolies would need to meet if they want access to Australian consumers. Under this licence, the Australian government would be able to make platforms liable for all the content that is amplified, curated and controlled by their algorithms or recommender engines, now hiding behind Section 230 in Australia. The licence should require that each platform has an effective consumer complaints handling system, including call centres contactable by telephone with expert staff in Australia. Other measures to be included: the ex-ante competition framework set out by the ACCC, which would address the problem of the monopolised digital advertising markets. A contribution to the money we are spending tackling mental health problems. A requirement for the tech platforms proven to be media's unavoidable trading partners would be to honour the media bargaining code and compensate all publishers and media companies. Penalties should also be included. Penalties that incorporate criminal sanctions for companies and their executives that agree to the licence but then break the rules. And the power to ultimately block access to our country and our people if they refuse to play by our rules. This idea of a social licence is neither overreach nor pie in the sky. Let's go back to a real-world example. A company may want to come to Australia to mine the mineral of the moment, copper. We rightly regard copper as Australian property, and if you want to extract it, here are just a few of the things that Australia requires. You will pay a royalty on the copper to access the copper. You will fairly negotiate with the landowners. You will hire Australians and meet all our industrial relations standards, safety requirements and awards. You will meet all environmental requirements and you will pay to fix any damage you cause or face penalties. In my view, the tech monopolies are also mining companies. But they don't mine our minerals, they mine our lives. And those lives are Australia's greatest resource. And we have a responsibility to protect ourselves and the way we want to live. If a company wants the right to access every part of our lives so they can profit from our habits and choices, so it can sell us the goods and its machine thinks we want, so it can take on our existing industries and business practices, then there's a price to pay for that access. Penalties to pay for any damage caused. While some may be shocked by this list of requirements, no business leader here would be surprised. Every bank and telco has to meet the standards of complaints handling set out by the law. Every media company is required by law to accept total responsibility for everything it publishes. No advertising business can run fake ads using the identities of Australia's most well-known people. And no other business can scoop up its competitors and totally dominate a marketplace. In short, all businesses accessing Australian people play by these rules, except the tech monopolies. It's time that changed. It's time for a level playing field. What choices would the social media giants face if Australia did impose this social licence? They could sign up or not, their choice. And if Meta or TikTok or X walked away, my response would be, it won't be the end of the world. We all know that innovation occurs in the digital space, and the tech monopolies know how quickly this void would be filled.